Hello, everybody. Zongets134 here.
And as always, I'm your co-host, Average Joe Squad.
And welcome to a special episode of Remember the Hyphen. Because it's not really an episode of Remember the Hyphen, it's a trailer react. So,
Same thing.
yeah.
Hyphenated trailer react.
We interrupt your Spidey-ness to bring you kind of more Spidey-ness. So, the trailer for Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse Part 1, which is, that's going to fuck me up every single time. I want to say Into the Spider-Verse 2. But
That's what we were calling it for like the last year.
But it's actually Across the Spider-Verse Part 1, which now it's a two-part movie like thing, which I'm like, okay. But I mean, granted, I'm still excited for it. So yeah, that dropped
Saturday night, 9:30,
around 9:30. Which I was kind of surprised we're getting that, but I guess it's because it's coming out in October.
Well, it's a first look. It's not even it's not even a trailer or a teaser. It's just a first look.
Yeah, and basically it's more or less I'm assuming is going to be the opening of the movie. But basically it takes place right after the events of the movie actually ended. The part where Miles is sleeping and all of a sudden Gwen somehow manages to talk to him, and
so they say. I still think there's a time jump because they look older.
Well, no, there is. There is a time jump. I meant more like it literally is taking place like at where Gwen goes, "Hey Miles, you gotta say."
No, I know. I don't think it's.
It's not. I know what you mean.
It's debatable.
I know what you mean. I'm just assuming this is like there was time that happened in that montage at the end.
Yeah.
What I mean more is it literally opens on the part where Gwen goes, "Hey Miles, you got a sec." It is obviously because Gwen has changed her costume a little bit. She now has the pink and blue webbing along her arm, like a fingerless glove kind of thing. Although it has the white from her, but it's definitely different.
Slightly different.
Slightly different.
When I first saw it, I almost thought maybe it was like an animation error or something. Because there were parts in that first look that I didn't think looked finished.
Yeah, particularly that little montage where Miguel is like whooping Spider-Man's ass as they're like dropping through.
That looked like it was like kind of like it hadn't been finished yet. Like the CG hadn't been put over. It was kind of like just like the animation was done. Yeah. But they hadn't gone back and dubbed in like the CG and
then Miguel looked really weird. He looked really bulky.
Well, that's why I'm starting to think maybe there's something going on with him. Maybe it's not actually him. Or
I wouldn't be surprised. Because I want to say there is an evil Spider-Man 2099, but I can't remember. But either that or it might be Venom 2099. Who knows? But yeah, basically, the trailer opens with Gwen, I'm guessing using whatever device that Miguel built in the stinger at the end of the movie from the first, where she can now kind of come and go into universes as she please. I'm assuming it's based on
She has that in the comics. So.
Yeah, well, that was just what I was about to say. It's based on the device the Web Warriors use when they travel through different multiverses. Because I'm also assuming it somehow allows you to not, like, destabilize like it was in the original. Or they might just completely ignore the whole, like, disintegration thing and just be like, eh. But, yeah, for the most part, it's just Gwen convincing Miles to go with her on an adventure through the Spider-Verse.
In and out, 20 minutes.
In and out. And basically, we see a little montage of like Miles falling through different realities, eventually going into what looks like the 2099 universe as Miguel starts fighting him, and it goes into basically the little stinger for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. And I want to say it shows like the symbol for Miles as Spider-Man.
Yeah, which is different than the one from the first movie. It looks a lot more like his comic / PS4 emblem.
Yeah,
like it's got like a little more sharper edges to it, whereas like the other one was like spray painted.
Yeah, this
looks a lot more like his normal one.
Yeah, almost like him and Aunt May finally made like an actual costume for him instead of just spray painting one of Peter's old suits. Oh, that was a cool suit. Like I like that he like spray painted it. That was pretty cool. But yeah, that's more or less the trailer. What were your thoughts when you watched it?
Well, my first thing was Friday night. I had gotten home and I saw somebody had posted that like, "Hey, first look at Spider-Verse 2 coming tomorrow," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll believe it when I see it." Yeah. Because when I first saw it, it was through a fan page, and I'm like, where's my official thing? But then like right around like 9 o'clock, 9:30ish, somebody in my Tumblr dash had started talking about it, so I immediately jumped on Facebook, and like it was like I think the third thing that popped up. So fuck Facebook for not making that the first thing that popped up. They didn't know what I wanted, obviously.
Obviously. You know, Zuckerberg's too busy stealing all your private data.
It's good they don't keep any good private data on there.
Same.
But no, watching it, it made me real hype. Like even I want to say I'm just as hyped for this as I am for No Way Home.
Oh, exactly. Me too.
Like we've got this going on. We got that new animated series coming. We've got the PS5 game coming. It's like what a time to be alive.
Yeah, it's a good year to be
sitting over here with like a Thanksgiving feast of Spider-Man content. It's like, damn. You know, okay.
At least it hasn't felt like it's been like a huge wait between like movies, because
especially given their hand animating this.
Yeah, which is nice because I'm also curious to see if they're going to be like how many Spider-Verses we go to, because that's going to be a lot of animation changes they're going to have to do. I'm assuming some of them we won't stay in for very long. Like I'm assuming we're going to get like Noir and Penny and Peter Porker.
Well, I don't know, because I don't think any of them are confirmed.
Oh, any of them aren't confirmed.
I don't even think we have Peter B confirmed.
Yeah.
I know the only ones confirmed right now are Gwen, Miles,
and
Japanese Spider-Man,
and obviously Miguel O'Hara.
Yeah, him, and then we also have a Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones I know that are officially confirmed. And even though Japanese Spidey, I know they had talked about it. I'm pretty sure they basically confirmed it.
Well, then they've shown his emblem in like in some of the early promotional materials and stuff. They've shown like all these different spider symbols, and I know one of them is the Japanese one. But then, to be fair, like given the fact that they just released a documentary about like Marvel trying to bring Super Sentai to the West, which led into the Japanese Spider-Man TV show, I kind of feel like that was, Disney's like, all right, we're going to make this documentary.
So y'all can't bitch that you don't know who it is.
Well, then also, hey, Toei, you like money, right? Mind letting us borrow Japanese Spider-Man?
I still feel like one of these days Disney is just going to be like, we're buying that back.
I mean,
I feel like they'll try to at least. They'll be like, that's technically a Marvel thing, kinda, so we want it.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think Toei's going to not give it back. Because, like, Toei will be like, you're going to pay us, right? Yeah. Here you go. But there's a lot of complicated things with, copyright systems between countries. So it's one of the reasons why it's been so hard to, like, bring that show over to the West. But so like you said, there's not a lot of confirmation. I do feel like we're going to get some of them back. Maybe not, like, Nicolas Cage, because I don't know what he's doing right now.
Well, he's making movies. Remember, he was on 2 different movies on the new release shelf that I was like, what?
Yeah, and to be fair, I don't know. Maybe John Mulaney's busy, so I don't know if they'll get him back for Spider-Man.
Like I said, they might be in it. I know that I haven't seen an official comp, though, of both of those.
If I do feel like we're going to at least get Peter B, because, like, you need like the actual Spider-Man.
If we don't get him in this, he's going to be in part 2.
Obviously,
probably.
Yeah.
Which I know they said part 2 is, I think, 2023.
Yeah. Wow, that's a pretty good turnaround between. But then again, they've probably been milking both of these at the same time.
Yeah.
So that doesn't. It honestly doesn't surprise me why it took them so long to get this out. Also, really do like that we got to see that little clip between Miles and Gwen. It was nice to see them again, just because it's been forever since we've seen them.
Also, the memes out of this have been fucking great.
Oh my God, the fact that he drew a fucking picture of her in his fucking art book, and I'm like, Miles.
Well, somebody at work pointed this out to me. If you watch the trailer, when she gets up off the bed, he looks away like he's trying real hard not to stare at her ass.
No, that's fair.
Which I'm like, a gentleman, I see.
Yeah, because his mom will pull out the chancla and beat his ass. His mother's Mexican, she'll whoop his ass.
But yeah, that was already. I'm seeing a lot of like little detail and stuff in it that really, again, reminds me of how much I love the style of these movies, because it's obvious that the people that make them actually give a shit about the lore and the history of Spider-Man, which I think which as we've talked about a couple different times, is one of the reasons we think the first movie
is so good
because it actually respects the source material.
Yeah. Like it was even that small bit. It was just fun to see like all the different art styles and just them showing that, hey, we're using the same stuff again for the most part. And I think it looks even more polished than the first film too.
Well, they probably got a little bit more of a bigger budget.
Well, they do probably have a bit more. Well,
Sony was just like, okay, you guys got a good budget now.
Well, like with like movies like Toy Story, like even like between those two films, you can see they perfected the technique of making those characters and stuff. Like it's not just like a budget thing, although the budget definitely is bigger. Probably not super big because it's still technically one of the lowest money making Spider-Man films ever, for stupid reasons.
We're not gonna get into that again.
But like I said, I do think that like they've perfected how they do the style, because it really pops off the screen, and I think even that suggests why they've made the costumes look a little bit more complex, because now they can animate them a little bit more. Like that's why I think that they gave the extra pop of color to Gwen's costume. It's why I think that like Miles' costume now looks like an actual costume instead of something he cobbled together. Because even at the end of that movie, he still technically cobbled that costume together. But and it was just cool to see the 2099 Spider-Man, as I'm a pretty big fan of Spidey 2099. He was like one of the first Spider-Man action figures I ever bought. Oh, and I still remember when I picked up that one issue of Amazing Spider-Man 2099, where he's getting his ass beat by fake Hulk. And just remembering how interesting it was to see like that kind of Spider-Man. It's just cool to see him actually be in a movie, because like, you know, for years everyone's thought of him as just like a ripoff of Batman Beyond, because that even though
Miguel came first,
and clearly the Batman Beyond idea was based off them like, can we do something like that with Batman? Not that I'm saying that I think it's bad, because like obviously doing something like that with Spider-Man means you do it with Batman too. But yeah, I was really impressed with this trailer. And I can't wait to see what else we get from it. And I'm just overall looking forward to the movie. Like I said, Into the Spider-Verse is one of my top 10 favorite superhero films. Like it literally was that like after it came out. So
Sony over here is just like, life is good.
Yeah,
but it can be better.
And I'm just curious to see what's going to happen, since this is like part 1. Like, are we getting like the Infinity War of Spider-Man movies? Like, what's going to happen here?
I just want to see Spooderman.
Yeah, I want to see more meme Spider-Man.
Because they obviously showed that they're okay with doing it. Like, they had the 260s ones in it.
Yeah, like they straight up need to just have Miles in that style, like hiding behind the desk, and Gwen being like, "What are you doing back there?" Nothing.
But yeah, we need a Spooderman in this, a Spooder Miles, and a Spooder Gwen.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
Even if it's just like them and like,
or like them looking in like a funhouse mirror. Yeah. That's what it is.
Like, the fuck is that? But yeah, I said I'm honestly really excited for it. I guess that's kind of it for this trailer, because there's not much to it. I know it's
short, but I mean, we just really felt like we needed to put something out about it, because I've seen the clip like 5 times. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, I really like it.
I've seen so much weird fan art of Gwen from that one image alone. So many meme pictures. The worst being the one where Miles drew her like a furry. And I'm like, I see what you did there, Sony. You were like, this is going to be a great meme. Put it out.
The fact that there's now an Into the Spider-Verse shitposting group.
Oh my
really
god,
says something. So,
but anyways, guys, that's gonna be it. We now return you to a regularly scheduled Spider-Verse. We got some more stuff coming out. We're actually filming some more tonight as we speak. I don't know when these will get out, but we'll see. Until then, guys, I'm Zongetsu 134,
and I'm Joe Squad.
As always, we ask you,
remember the hyphen,
and take care. Into the Spider-Verse.